Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the respected dignitaries, distinguished excellencies, and guests of honor, and all the people present here with us on this auspicious day. Dr. Glenn, with your permission, can we start the proceedings of the day? Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Now let's begin the ceremony with the auspicious sound of blowing of conch. We now request everyone to please stand up in honor of National Anthem of India.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
I now request everyone to please take your seats and sit down. Now let's close our eyes for the global fraternity prayer. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Global fraternity shall be the slogan. Humans, it's time, your souls shall awaken. Let there be power to work in all. May all people be one family. Global harmony shall prevail. May there be peace and education everywhere. Global fraternity shall be the slogan. Humans, it's time, your souls shall awaken. Let there be love all around in every country. It's time to identify the day of reckoning. May hunger, ailment, ignorance be eradicated. Let's extend the helping hand to awaken the spirit of comradeship. Global fraternity shall be the slogan. Humans, it's time, your souls shall awaken. Never feel discouraged, don't be scattered. Just stand, fight, and gleam every time. The Earth Constitution shall come into force. Make it your objective, oh dear, every citizen. Global fraternity shall be the slogan. Humans, it's time, your souls shall awaken. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. And now, global fraternity prayer, that is Vishwa Bandhut Pratna, will be recited in Hindi.
आइए हम सब विश्व शांति के लिए एक प्रार्थना करते हैं। अपने इष्ट देव को याद कीजिए। विश्व बंधुत्व ही नारा हो, मानव समय तुम्हारा हो, सब में कार्य शक्ति हो, जन जन स्वस्थ सबल हो। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, वैश्विक सद्भाव, शांति और शिक्षा हो, विश्व बंधुत्व ही नारा हो, मानव समय तुम्हारा हो। देश देश में प्रेम भाव हो, काल की पहचान हो, भूख रोग अज्ञान हटाएं, जन जन का हम हाथ बटाएं। विश्व बंधुत्व ही नारा हो, मानव समय तुम्हारा हो। उद्देश्य मन में जाग रहे, संस्कृतियों का मान रहे, रोके जलवायु पतन, पर्यावरण संरक्षित हो। विश्व बंधुत्व ही नारा हो, मानव समय तुम्हारा हो। हताश हो न कोई बिखरे, संघर्ष करे और सब निखरे। पृथ्वी संविधान लागू हो, हर नागरिक का लक्ष्य हो। विश्व बंधुत्व ही नारा हो, मानव समय तुम्हारा हो। धन्यवाद।
Now, on behalf of Dr. Glenn, Global President, WCPA, Major Sushil Goyal, Chief Technical Officer, WCPA, and team, I, Priyanka, along with Dr. Shinchini, who is present with us virtually from Lucknow, India, welcome you all on the auspicious occasion of International Convention on Role of India in the New Emerging World Order and 15th Provisional World Parliament, presided by Dr. Glenn T. Martin from 10th to 12th December 2021, Friday to Sunday. We'll now proceed the program with an invocation by Reverend Laura M. George, JD. She's the Director of Earth Constitution Institute. I request tech support to please play the video. Thank you. Thank you so much. Tearful goodbye to sons of soil. Our heart goes to the Indian Army for losing General Rawat, first CDS, his wife, all the officers and Jawans. A loss hardly to be written in words. Condolences to the bereaved families. May the great souls of our Mahan Saput rest in peace. To pay homage to the bereaved, we request you to observe 1 minute silence to pay our deepest condolences. Jai Hind. WCPA, World Constitution and Parliament Association, is a movement of world citizens formed with a vision Vasudev Kutumbakam, world is one family. WCPA is formed in the year 1958 with an aim to secure a democratic world governance system formed by the Federation of all the nations of the world and formed under the Constitution for the Federation of the Earth. Another important aim of WCPA is to establish global peace and amicable relations between nations of the world. Moreover, WCPA is a mechanism to administer the affairs which transcend national boundaries for the benefit of humanity across the globe. WCPA is actively engaged in promoting global education, global ecological sustainability, the Earth Constitution, the unity and diversity of nations and peoples, social entrepreneurship, and global talent pool and skill development. Eminent pillars of society, the leading figures of this movement are present here with us on this platform. Our chief guest for this auspicious ceremony is present amongst us. Honorable Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, former Chief Justice of India, Supreme Court, and former Chairperson of National Human Rights Commission. Honorable Mr. K. Lakshmi Narayananji, Guest of Honor, he is Honorable Minister for Public Works, Puducherry Government. Honorable Dr. Glenn T. Martin, Chair of 15th Provisional World Parliament, Director of ECI, Global President WCPA. Honorable dignitaries, delegates, observer, and all the attendees present virtually with us, we thank you all for gracing the occasion with your presence. This event was planned on hybrid mode, but due to government new COVID guidelines, we shift to only virtual mode. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused to a large number of people. We'll now proceed with a welcome address by Professor P.N. Murthy. He's the Director of Earth Constitution Institute and Earth Federal Institute and Executive Member of WCPA Governing Council. He's actively engaged in promoting the Earth Constitution. I request Professor Murthy to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon, very good afternoon, dignitaries. Dr. Glenn T. Martin, President, WCPA. Justice K.G. Balakrishnan ji, former CJI, and our patron, Lieutenant General A.K.S. Chandele ji, Guru Pawan Sinha ji, Dr. Lara George, our beloved President, WCPA India President, Colonel T.P. Tyagi ji, Dr. Eugenia Almond, Secretary General WCPA, Justice Kashefa Hussain, Justice Supreme Court, Bangladesh, Dr. Roger Cordilla, President, DWF, Mr. Rajesh Chandra, Secretary, Technical Education, UP Government, Dr. Sachin Gupta, Chancellor, Sanskriti University, all the WCPA patrons, officials, office bearers, members, well-wishers from all over the world. Indeed, it gives me immense pleasure in inviting you and welcoming you to this August global event today. This was planned almost a year ago, and the credit for this program should majorly go to two of our esteemed leaders, Colonel T.P. Tyagiji, our WCPF India president, who took the initiative and moved it vociferously, and Major Sushil Goyal, who provided all the technical and other support to make this program happen, along with the entire WCPI India team and other global teams together. So it's a momentous day today. It is also International Human Rights Day. Every year WCPA celebrates annual convention on this day, but this year, due to the efforts of the WCPA India team headed by Colonel T.P. Tyagiji, this Provisional World Parliament 15th session has become a reality. Indeed, we are proud to say that India is hosting the 8th Provisional World Parliament today. So far, 7 have happened in the past. And probably the next event also most likely to happen in India. All the members have supported this initiative in their best capacity in spreading the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is, world is one family. And we have been able to reach out to almost 62 countries of the world. A couple of thousands of new patrons have joined this initiative. And most of all, we have been able to reach out to the government of India, requesting them to take the lead in bringing a change in the process of global governance. So I welcome you all again today to this August function. And I thank you personally for making this a great success by your great presence. In fact, Swami Chidananji Maharaj of Paramarth Niketan was to be here, but he was unable to join this program for exigencies. He has sent his blessings and best wishes for the success of this program. So I thank you and welcome you all to this great event. Welcome once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Right now. Now here, we'll have to go a little bit off the schedule as Honorable Justice K.G. Balakrishnan has to board the flight. Honorable Miss Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, Chief Guest for the day, former Chief Justice of India, Supreme Court, and former Chairperson of National Human Rights Commission. He is an Indian judge who has been the chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission of India. He's a former Chief Justice of India. He was the first judge from Kerala to become the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. In 2010, he was conferred with an honorary doctorate by Cochin University of Science and Technology. We are witness to his memorable decisions on protection of labor, working in coal mines, and action against air polluters. He's the chairman of Public Police, working to change the image of police in the interest and welfare of common man in India. We request Honorable Justice K.G. Balakrishnan to address the audience and shower his blessings on us.
Distinguished participants, I am sorry that I will not be able to name each one of you and welcome you. But I personally do not know each one of you, but I welcome all. I know that I am in the midst of very, very distinguished people all over the world. So I carefully read the constitution for the Federation of the Earth. So I am really fascinated by this wonderful idea, how this would work for the betterment of the humanity, peace and equality and harmony and justice for all the people of this world. This is a very, very imaginative idea, and a constitution which is a copy of which was furnished to me gives the various aspects. In the preamble to the Earth Constitution provides the conceptual framework for the whole of the document, gives us the hope for the new world, which promises usher in an era of peace, prosperity, justice, and harmony. So then it works out the various, the motive is to prevent war, which the 20th century has seen horrendous type of weapons by using abusing the technological and scientific power achieved by the humanity. The horrendous weapons were manufactured, and it's a threat to the world peace. And prevent war, protect the universal human rights, equitable development, regulation of the world trade, protect the environment, solve all the problems which are beyond the capacity of any single individual nations. There are small nations, big nations, every country may face various problems. Small country may face small problems. Maybe poverty may be a problem. Maybe environmental problems. Natural calamity may be a problem. And the country by itself will not be able to provide a solution, to provide relief to the people of that country. Then the whole world, the other community, other people, other countries should come and join and solve the problems. That is how the world parliament, world code, this constitution should work. Protect all the universal human rights. Human rights, today being a Human Rights Day, and we must remember the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted by the UN Convention, UN General Assembly on 1948, on the 10th December 48. All the participants supported, and that is the basic document on which the whole the world works for humanity. So when based on that, we are thinking it is not very easy to have a world parliament. It is not easy to have a world government. It is not difficult to have a complete unity of all the countries in this world. But we have got general problems. Such problems could be solved to a great extent if there is a reasonable cooperation between the countries in the world. For which there should be some forum to act upon. There should be a world parliament. There should be a world executive, a world administrative forum, and integrated complex should be there. World judiciary, that is also, it is clearly established, clearly given, details are given in this constitution. What the various types of civil, criminal, and technological, all these disputes may arise, and how to solve these complex issues. There should be a world judiciary. Today, International Court of Justice is there, but that is not a judicial forum to decide the dispute between the countries. There is a World Criminal Court, that is also not a forum where we can consider it. Suppose there are dispute between the two countries which could be solved by a well-accepted forum, a world judicial forum, that would be a great boon to the peace of this world. Then the world ombudsman, various other types of dispute may arise among the participants. They want a particular claim to be established. They want a particular amount to be recovered from a particular country. There may be arbitration and the award for a huge amount to be recovered by one party in one country in another from another country. There should be such forum, and all these could be there should be some forum there. And one important aspect, one important thing also is stated in the that is it is very same thing is given in the Indian Constitution also. Indian Constitution, Article 31, it is says that the equitable wealth of the country should be the wealth of the country, wealth of the community shall be equitably distributed. The same thing is given in the World Constitution, that the wealth of this world should be equitably distributed. It is a very, very wonderful idea, because some countries are in the poor area, their environment is poor, there is no wealth in that country. The wealth may be there, but they are not able to exploit the wealth. There may be mines, gold mines in some countries, but they are not able to exploit the gold mine. There may be other potential, the people who can work hard and get huge benefit, but there is no forum. There is nobody to help them to come out and do their work. These are all the problems which is faced by the small countries and small group of people. Who is there to help? And this World Parliament, it is true. If somebody, a common man will say, what are you saying? How can there be a World Parliament, World Judiciary, World Executive, World Administration? It is all not possible. It is prima facie, it is not possible. But we are not thinking of a world administrative setup, but there should be a complete cooperation and cohesion between the various countries, and they can cooperate in solving many of the myriad problems of the people of this world. That if that is at least 10% of such problems are solved, it would be a great boon. It would be a great help to millions of people who is in this planet. How to solve these problems, how to locate these problems, how when those who have got problems, they should have a forum to approach. Now there is no forum. We may say UN, or we may say the IMOs, or we may say the Health World, WHO. All these UN organization is there, but that they are working in various areas, and many of the people in remote countries do not even know what type of service they can avail from there. And I don't think an individual can avail the benefit of such UN bodies. But there should be a facility to raise this question. At least a group of persons could raise the question, and there should be somebody to hear the problems and request the bigger nations to come forward and solve these problems. So this is a wonderful idea, and if I am not very, very optimistic about this, but I am neither pessimistic. I am optimistic. Even if we are 10% optimistic, it would be a great thing for the world, all over this world. So I appreciate I know that the hundreds and hundreds of people worked for this idea, and it has come to this stage. We should push, move forward this idea. And if anything is achieved, that would be something great. I am deeply thankful to the organizers for having invited to speak a few words and to bring out these my ideas. And if any occasion arises, I would be only happy to work for this idea because it is a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea, but it is difficult to carry out. That we must understand that these are very, very difficult to understand, implement it. And the men, if there are 100 people, there will be 100 opinions. So they have different difference of opinion, differences of ideas, differences of the calculations, and all these. That is human nature. To do at this stage is very, very difficult, but at the same time, that shall not deter us from moving forward with this idea. Thank you. Thank you very much once again to the organizers for having invited this function.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for such lovely words and ideas presented to us. Thank you once again. It's time now for blessings from Sri Pavan Sinha, spiritual guru. He is also present with us. We look forward to his blessings. Dr. Pavan Sinha, Guruji, is a spiritual preceptor, motivator, philosopher, writer, and an educationist. He is a scientific astrologer, professor of political science. He's also a meditation wizard. We request him to shower his noblest blessings on us.
Thank you, Neelamji. On the onset, what I want to say, I first of all pay my regards to Mr. Glenn, Mr. Murthy, Colonel Tyagiji, and all my friends with whom I am sharing this virtual forum. I am very thankful to Colonel Tyagi for giving me this opportunity to interact with people worldwide who are very much concerned for peace, tranquility, harmony among societies. I really wish a great success to the organization because what they are working is need of the hour. See, since I have been a student of international relations also, besides practicing my spirituality, world has always showed interest in peace. Peace has always been a final goal for the world. But unfortunately, peace has never been established even for a decade. Peaceful movement for this world in last 1,000 years are very few, but moments of war are more. Everybody, I'm talking about an individual, every individual wants peace. He earns money for peace. He works for peace. He joins organizations for peace. He goes to temples and other places of worship for peace. He meditates for peace. Everything what an individual does is ultimately for the peace, but peace never comes so easily. Particularly in this world where religions are politicized, because I think, why I'm pointing out here, I think that religion is the greatest source of peace and harmony. But when religions are politicized, then it becomes very difficult for any other organization to establish the peace. One very good thing which has been initiated by the organization is that they have included religious leaders in this forum, because they are the one, if they guide the people, peace may be established. I'm also, like Honorable Justice, I'm also very positive, optimistic person, and have always asked for people to manifest peace, love. And a wonderful line which was written here in the comments, in the chat box, that every person is mine. This is what we learn in spirituality. And it is not very easy. This I'm telling you, it's very difficult. Now we are passing through a world where religion has been politicized. We are passing through the world which is fighting on COVID, not against COVID. After COVID, the world panorama has totally been changed. World order is taking a different turn. There are emergence of different parts in multipolar world. New power blocks are emerging, and whenever power blocks are emerging, they are always on the basis of the disputes and coalitions. Hardly anybody is thinking for the development. Fanaticism is creeping in. Countries are very perplexed how to fight with this fanaticism. And in such times, we must strive very hard for the peace and harmony. Peace in the world is impossible without creating harmony, and harmony comes from individual. So I have some suggestions to make. But before that, I would like to discuss India's role. Geostrategic situation of India is very important, both for war and for peace. We are living in the waters. We are situated in the lands where so many countries are meeting together, and which is one of the major ways of transportation through the sea. We own Indian Ocean, which is a bed of resources. And hence, a lot of wine is there in Indian Ocean. Neighboring countries, and one of our neighbors has given pain to many countries in the world, many peoples in the world, and there is no hesitation to accept it. Because until we accept the truth, we cannot establish the truth. So we are a land of major religions. All major religions of the world are here. And if we try to establish harmony, I think there is no other land than India wherefrom we can start a campaign for harmony. We should contact so many religious leaders from center to down the line in a village. And we must invoke them, we must ask them to preach harmony through their religious texts. All religious texts are teaching good things, they are giving good moral philosophies, but they should be communicated in the same way without hatred. All must regard all the religions. And where there are many religions and sub-religions in Indian land, in the land of India, I think we should start a new world order from this pious land called India. India has been a land which has sheltered all the religions without any hesitation. This land, which is our motherland, which we call Bharat Mata. So in the lap of Bharat Mata, in the lap of India, all religions have flourished. You name a religion, or you name a school of philosophy that you will find in India. And it is quite flourished with their own buildings, with their own temples, with their own places of worship. So first of all, we should strive to begin this voyage of harmony from India. I know the efforts of Colonel T.P. Tyagiji, Vijay Sushilji, they are already doing it. And I have been a part of their many such campaigns. The next thing is, there is one very ruthless area, blunt area, that is technology transfer. Until and unless we request different countries to transfer their good technology to developing countries or underdeveloped countries, if it happens, peace will definitely come, because in technology, there is a lot of vying, lot of competition, and which begets disharmony among countries. Third point is ecology, environment. We should launch a campaign where we should tell the people, you all are going to die if you don't maintain ecological balance, and ecology knows no geographical or political boundaries. So come together and we all will fight for ecological balance positively, without any contradictions and competitions. Another area to bring peace is education. 773 million people are illiterate in the world. And today is Human Rights Day. India, in Article 21A, has given right to education a fundamental right. But 37% of 773 million illiterates are in India. And if it is in India, so definitely we can see what will be the issues in Africa, what will be the issues in war-torn areas like Afghanistan and other nations and other countries. So we should all struggle to establish literacy, education, because it binds people. If people are well educated, not formal education, I'm not talking about formal education. If they are well educated, they will develop a sense to bind themselves together. One more thing I want to say, that we all should raise our legitimate voice for all those nations who are exploited by other nations. There are some nations which are flourishing only on the disturbances of other countries. We must raise our voice very peacefully, very calmly, with harmony, in the favor of such countries who have faces the blunts of the ambitions of some countries for becoming super economic power or super political power. These are few of my suggestions. In the end, I would say that it is my great pleasure, and I will be very happy and feel myself very fortunate if I join hands with this organization. Mr. Glenn, Colonel Tyagi, they all are doing wonderful work, wonderful work. I'm also seeing Mr. Alice on the screen. His work, his philosophy too is very commendable. And so many other people are there whom I have studied, whom I have read. Dr. Sarana, she is a known face, and she is a known face for propagating peace and tranquility and harmony in the society. So I thank Mr. Glenn I thank Tyagi, I thank Mr. Sunil and Neelamji for giving me this opportunity. And also, I would be very happy and thankful again if you give me this opportunity to be with you. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your noblest blessings and the words. Thank you, sir. We have amongst us Reverend Laura M. George, JD. She's the director of Earth Constitution Institute. She also serves as executive director of the Oracle Institute, USA. Now we request her to please share her views.
Hello, Honorable President and Secretary General of the 15th Provisional World Parliament, Honorable WCPA members, World District delegates, and esteemed guests. My name is Laura George, and I'm speaking to you from the Oracle Institute campus in Independence, Virginia. I seek nothing short of a spiritual revolution and proclaim from the Peace Pentagon that unity in diversity is achievable under the Earth Constitution, which was specifically designed to manifest this sacred objective. Let us be reminded that all successful revolutions are predicated on a spiritual proposition. Social justice icons Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Mahatma Gandhi, and Martin Luther King Jr. would agree, as would spiritual leaders such as Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, and our dearly departed distinguished advisor, Swami Agnavesh. All new humans share this yearning. At this time, have you guys played that video? I just wanted to ask. We were going to play a video now, a welcome video. Do you have it or should I continue?
Please continue.
Okay. Currently, we stand at the dawn of a new paradigm, an unprecedented era of holism, interconnection, and synthesis. The evolutionary impulse assists us in this holy quest, helping turn yesterday's Tower of Babel into a glorious Tower of Truth. Slowly but surely, we are witnessing the marriage of science, spirituality, and socialism. The time has come to ratify the Earth Constitution, a storied and elegant template for uniting the people of Earth. What skeptics call a coincidence, initiates call a sign, and believers call a miracle. Are my words mere fantasy? Don't we face unprecedented challenges that might topple our Tower of Truth and end the human experiment? Yes, there is a dark form of globalism that is possible, and many futurists would say probable. Some say that the religion of tomorrow will not be a more advanced global humanism, but a dystopian, simulated world of dataism, a belief that technology and corporatocracy already have usurped freedom and democracy, bought it in fact. But the pursuit of godlike power by depraved billionaires already has won the day. That we are blind and beleaguered to the point of pledging allegiance to a new God, the Internet of all things, and that is, instead of synthesizing knowledge, we would bow down to a synthetic database, which operates like an omniscient God, knowing us better than we know ourselves. I reject this suicidal view of globalization, though I comprehend its seductive power. Like any cult, dataism promises unrestricted access to all information, similar to the biblical tree of knowledge, and it tempts us to seek transhuman and even post-human immortality from a mythical tree of everlasting life. Consequently, crazed futurists such as Ray Kurzweil predict that the new human will replace the cosmic commandment, all is one, with singularity, a twisted vision of unification, where democratic governance and human rights are relegated to quaint, obsolete concepts, where we relinquish free will and self-determination to artificial intelligence and the perverse men who will try but fail to control the Frankenstein they've created. Such is the nefarious and fatal timeline these madmen are charting. Yes, futurists on Team Dark are drug dealers who push data addiction and virtual reality, while futurists on Team Light, such as Ervin Laszlo, decode our organic connection to the very fabric of the universe, what scientists call the unified field, what Teilhard de Chardin named the noosphere, and what the great mystics identify as the Akashic field. I believe the evolutionary impulse favors Team Light, of which everyone here at the Parliament is a member. The God game, as I like to call it, contains all possibilities within a limitless spectrum of polarity and duality. God may seem detached, as in the deism of the great clockmaker, who stays neutral and uninvolved, but the Creator is far from impartial, clearly seeding life and selecting evolution over extinction. It is true that the God game encompasses an inherent life-death life cycle, yet it also contains a default mode and a preference for creation over destruction, for complexity over chaos, and for truth, love, and light over ignorance, hatred, and evil. New humans know they are guardians of this planet who share one destiny, which is to conquer polarity in its most extreme forms and anchor unity consciousness. Because the Earth Constitution consecrates the planetary commons and sanctifies the collective good, corporations and banks are not granted human rights. They cannot vote. Their money is in speech, and they are kept in line via multiple checks and balances that well exceed outdated antitrust laws. Yes, what skeptics call coincidence, initiates call signs, and believers call a miracle. And to my sisters and our daughters, I say, this planet will embrace the law of gender, a universal precept that decrees parity and proper balance. Sociologist Riane Eisler, who authored the groundbreaking book, The Chalice and the Blade, calls this the paradigm of partnerism, a culture of peace in which men and women share power and responsibility. Similarly, a healthy view of the Godhead includes an awareness of both divine masculine and divine feminine principles. The Chinese refer to this as the yin-yang, or the duality of nature. To mystics, the male-yang essence constitutes the creative force, or the could-do energy. The feminine yin aspect is the wisdom force, also known as Sophia, the Holy Shekinah, the Holy Spirit, and it represents the should-do energy. For example, we could spend $1 trillion saving banks deemed too big to fail, and then fail to jail any of the Wall Street tycoons who committed global financial fraud. Or perhaps we should use those same resources to provide universal health and childcare. In the words of Nelson Mandela, there can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. By failing to balance what we could do and what we should do, masculine energy has run amok since the industrial age, to our great peril and impoverishment. Capitalism is a zero-sum game with winners and losers, and trickle-down Reaganomics is a farce. The result is the greatest theft of wealth in human history. However, the Oracle Institute's trickle-down deity theory is factual and naturally flows from our collective concept of the Godhead. If we view God as a guy in the sky or the internet of all things, we will never eradicate misogyny, racism, poverty, and the other inequities that stem from patriarchy. Today, New humans view God as the ground of all being, an energy source. We know history, her story, and our story are all eternally embedded in the timelessness of the Akashic records. Thankfully, the Earth Constitution was designed to tap both masculine ingenuity and feminine wisdom. Such creativity and compassion lie in the hearts and souls of all good men and women. So how does the Earth Constitution help us achieve proper balance in the secular sphere? To begin with, a new branch of government, the ingenious House of Counselors, fulfills the role of feminine should-do energy. This body, comprised of international scholars and elders, will inspire us when we face tough choices and difficult decisions. Second, the power of the Presidium, usually considered an energetically masculine role, is shared among 5 elected leaders from 5 continents. This executive branch design limits the dark side of masculine energy, what Friedrich Nietzsche recklessly glorified as the will to power, and which can lead to autocracy, fascism, and ultimately nihilism. Third, presidential powers are limited by the House of the People and House of Nations, with sole authority to pass law. Gone are the impulsive and misguided executive orders emanating from the mind of one man. Gone are these sorts of irrational movements that are not checked. Instead, principles of systems design and sociocracy form the bedrock of the Earth Constitution. As a result, global democracy is born from the marriage of masculine and feminine ideals. Justice is achieved because we have the framework to govern both creatively and wisely. Synergy and holism are realized because new humans recognize that individual freedom and the collective good are interdependent and mutually assured. In this way, the evolutionary impulse and the Earth Constitution produce miraculous results. Contemporary revelations of love supplant ancient prophecies of Armageddon. Cooperation eclipses competition. Authentic partnerism subdues patriarchal privilege. World citizenship overtakes national allegiance, and oneness transcends singularity. Ultimately, it is revealed for posterity that the God game is not a zero-sum game, because a federated planet under the Earth Constitution yields win-win solutions that are greater than the sum of its parts. We achieve unity and diversity, and we are one step closer to utopia. What skeptics call a coincidence, initiates call a sign, and believers call a miracle. Om Jai.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Laura. Now, Colonel T.P. Tyagi is also present amongst us. Colonel Tyagi is the president of WCPA India chapter. He's the president Rashtriya Sainik Sanstha. He was awarded Veer Chakra after Indo-Pakistan War of 1971. He has put his best efforts in building the team of WCPA in India in a very short span. I request Colonel Tyagi to please share his views.
At the total start, I wish to confirm and convey my thanks and gratitude to Dr. Glenn T. Martin, Phyllis Turk, Eugenia Elman, Laura George J.D., Roger Cotilla, Richard Sharp, Kaifa Hussain, and many other dignitaries who are here. This is in addition to 2 particular people who have blessed us very recently. One is the former Chief Justice of India and also the Chairman of National Human Rights Commission, Justice Balakrishnan, and a stalwart, a wizard whose name everyone in the country knows is Dr. Pawan Sinha. whom we call a reincarnation of Swami Vivekananda. But the first name, Dr. Glenn T. Martin, I wish to bring it out particularly. It was his inspiration, it was his desire, it was his initiative, it was his momentum which kept us working. Us means me, more than me, Dr. Professor P.N. Murthy. P.N. Murthy happens to be the director of Earth Constitution Institute. He is the director of Earth Federation Institute. He is also a management trustee. He is in the governing council of World Constitution and Parliament Association. He is a chartered accountant and a magnificent personality. He doesn't have no in his treasure. He always says yes, a man with very big positive attitude. Another is Major Sushil Goyal. It is difficult to find a person parallel to him. He is the director of PCTI. He is the chief of information technology of WCPA. He is a person who always dreams new things. His mind is very fertile. He thinks ahead. He is a visionary. He takes big decisions, and he also happens to be the vice president of the India chapter. Today's conference has been exclusively and specifically conceptualized, designed, and implemented by Major Sushil Goyal. There are far too many things about him, but I have to come back to my point. We have got another person, and he is Rakesh Chokar. Rakesh Chokar happens to be a journalist, he is a writer, he is a poet, and this was the team which was galvanized by Dr. Glenn T. Martin. During the currency of this preparations of last 1 year, when we did very many things, we published an announcement brochure, and this program was supposed to take place in person in the United Service Institution, Basant Vihar, Delhi, and there about 300 people had confirmed their presence. But unfortunately, because of this Omicron, the Delhi government put a restriction and we had to come to online. During these preparations, we conducted very many press conferences. We held very many meetings, and the meetings were Zoom meetings. The point which I wish to bring out is that those Zoom meetings were put at a time which was preferable and convenient to the Indians, but it was very inconvenient to the Americans. I bow my head to Dr. Glenn T. Martin that in complete disregard to his personal comforts, he attended all those meetings. He went to the details like this, that these are the subcommittees, these will be their responsibilities, this is how the things will carry on. So Glenn T. Martin, I consider, is the hinge, is the fulcrum, is the karndar, is the pandar, is the pillar of this entire program. Sir, we have been saying so far that India should be kept in the first line of global leadership. But today, I change my statement and I will say that India should be in the first line of global leadership. Why do I say so? I just give you in very brief 4 counts. The first count, which has been repeated by Dr. Murthy also, and that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudha hi kutumb hai udar vratti walon ka. That is, if you have got an open mind, the world is your family. The whole planet is yours. Now this has been, we have been saying so, not today. We have been saying so from the time when the developed nations of today, many of them had not even learned walking. And we are saying so from those days. 1. Second reason, Swami Vivekananda in 1893 in Chicago, he said that we should have a universal religion. When he said universal religion, it does not mean that Christians should become Hindu and vice versa. No, what he said, a religion for the humanity, a religion which does not criticize others. Now that universal religion idea was propounded and was mooted by Swami Vivekananda. The entire world knows about it. Third thing, very recently in this pandemic, remember when there was a need, the hydroxychloroquine medicine was sent by us to America, in spite of the fact that we had limited quantity of it at the cost of our own people. And then when we developed vaccination, the vaccination, even at the cost and welfare of the Indians, they were distributed to very many other countries. Now this shows that India has a concern for others. And one more point, and that is the most important point, that so far we have told you the things which are known by almost everyone. Today I am bringing out a new fact, and that fact is Section 51 of the Constitution of India. Constitution of India has got preamble, it has got the fundamental rights, it has got the directive principles. One of the directive principles is Section 51, and which says three particular things which I read out to you. Promote international peace and security. Promote international peace and security. Maintain just and honorable relations between nations. Foster respect for international law. Encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. This we had said in our constitution. When this constitution was framed and when these things were finalized, there was a constituent assembly. And in the constituent assembly, different people discussed at length. One of them said that tolerance, looking after the guest is God, pardon, love, affection, universal brotherhood, humanity, these are the parts of the Indian culture. Then why should we worry more about our own country? We should first include in our constitution that we work for the entire humanity. Another member of the Constituent Assembly said that no, we have recently got our freedom. We should more concerned about our country, and we should make just a vague statement that we should have respect for the international law. Another person said, and all these things are on internet, it can be checked. I am an army officer, I will not say a word which cannot be substantiated. The third one said, he said that in future, at some point of time, world government will be formed. And another person, he said, another member, he said that we should sacrifice part of our sovereignty for world government. Now, these are the things which are covered in Article 51 of the Constitution of India. Now, friend, after this, now I come to the today's situation. Today, we are a global village because of information technology, because of space cooperation, because of unprecedented development of the communications by sea, by land, by air, because of the social media, because of the contact, because of the development, a situation has come that the entire world has become a global village. But once, if it is a global village, then there should be one law for the village. Why should there be different laws in different nations? There should be an international law, but it has not happened. Question arises that how to justify that the international law which is today there, is it just, is it okay, is it acceptable? Now the question comes, whatever we are talking, that today it is a global village, it was not so before United Nations organization was formed. At that time, the world was not a global village. It is today a global village. So we expected that from UNO, things will become better because it was established for the purposes of peace and security and international amicability, really good relations between the nations, and doing but the law established by them, firstly, it was not just. Secondly, UNO itself was not constituted by a proper executive body. So far, so good. But even after UNO has been formed, the situation today is that every 30th man on this planet has been killed by the criminality of nations. Today, before UNO, there was only one country, that is USA, which had an atom bomb. Today, there are more than 30 countries having more than about 4 lakh nuclear weapons. There are 25 countries which have stockpiles of biological weapons which are of mass destruction. So it means that UNO has failed. UNO, the international law established by UNO, cannot be accepted. Otherwise, we would have accepted. Otherwise, India would have shared a part of its sovereignty to the UNO. But because it failed, not only on one count, in hundreds of counts, in its peacekeeping force has been found wanting. It could not stop the wars, it could not stop the civil wars, it could not stop the pandemic, also very, very many things. Now, that has not happened, but again, India came in between. Now, another important thing, my dear friends, dignitaries, I bow my head to you and wish to tell you that in 1999, in 1999, a few students of the Center of Medical Science in Lucknow, they obtained the signatures of 1 lakh people, and they made an appeal on behalf of the children of the earth. And what was the appeal? The appeal was that there should be a world government. It was done by India. And this appeal was sent to the then Secretary General of United Nations Organization, Kofi Annan. The appeal was sent, and in the appeal it was written that the nuclear armament, its race should be banned. There should be a concern for the environment. There should be a mechanism to ensure peace, and Section 51A of the Indian Constitution should be included in the constitution of every nation. When this appeal was made, a few leaders came forward and they supported it. The Prime Minister of India, the Prime Minister of Australia, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, they all supported it. But the Kofi Annan, the Secretary General of UNO, said, sorry, what can I do? I can do only those things which the countries can do. Hence, all that I will do is that I will put your appeal to the Millennium Summit, which was to take place from 6th September onwards in 2000. The Millennium Summit took place, but at that time, none of these leaders spoke a word about it, though it was an important point included in the agenda. So if India made another try. After that, now the situation comes that what should we do? Is there any problem which is bigger than men? Is there any problem which does not have a solution? So if that can be done, then the point which has been brought out by Dr. Glenn, the WCPA, World Constitution and Parliament Association, is starting its journey from 1958, and then hundreds of brains all over the world, they joined hands, they published a thing known as Earth Constitution, and Earth Constitution caters for a federal world government. It caters for holistic welfare of the last man in the line. It caters for environmental protection. It caters for ombudsman and judiciary, world judiciary. So this gives an alternative. We have gone through it. By any stretch of imagination, we do not find any such document better than Earth Constitution. And India feels it. Again, India came to the rescue of this point in what? How? Suppose the entire General Assembly and suppose the 50 nuclear proliferation treaty nations, NPT nations, they agree that, okay, we want a change in the UN law. Suppose they agree, the entire world agrees. How will you implement it? You can't implement it unless the veto power is abolished. And if the veto power is abolished, how can that be done? Again, India came into it. It was India when the representative of India, Dr. R.K. Ramachandran Ramaswamy Muraliar, signed the declaration of UN Charter on 26 June 1945. He categorically mentioned that the veto power should be revised, should be reconsidered within 10 years. And if it does not happen, then in the 10th year, by simple majority, this can be removed. It never happened. It means we are carrying on with a dead body of veto power provision. Since then, since 1955, time has come now, and everyone has to go up. Now, this is not, you will say it is a very difficult task, very difficult task. If you right in the beginning assume that it is not possible, how will you proceed? You require courage. Imagine Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose of Hindustan. He was alone when he left country, and then he formed an army, and what he did, everyone knows. So it is the courage which matters. Even one man matters. I will go to the extent of saying, if you all agree, and if you all agree day in and day night, that yes, we have to go for it, we can establish peace. I am an army officer. Generally, people will say that how are you so much concerned for peace? Friend, we fight to establish peace. Hence, we want peace. We have got now only two alternatives left, either annihilate ourselves or establish peace by changing the UN with the Earth Constitution. I thank every one of you to have listened to me. With my folded hands, I bow my hands to you. Grateful, sir. Thank you, sir. Very many thanks, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Colonel T.P. Tyagi, for such kind words. Now we have amongst us Dr. Eugenia Almond. She's the Secretary General of WCPA and Executive Secretary of PWP. She's also the co-author of Emerging World Law. She's from Legal Fraternity and is connected with WCPA for about 4 decades. And she's highly conversant with the provisions of Earth Constitution. She's the main knowledge source for Provisional World Parliament sessions. We request her to please share your views.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for participating, for coming to this 15th session of the Provisional World Parliament. I'm feeling a lot of exhilaration, even being here in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is, I'm excited. What we're doing with the Provisional World Parliament is in conformance with the Constitution for the Federation of Earth, in conformance with the Earth Constitution, we are creating provisional world government. That is a provisional, non-military, federal, constitutional, parliamentary world Commonwealth Republic. So we're governing ourselves. I don't know if the word in Hindi, namaskar, in Hindi, if it would mean anything to say something like Priti Swaraj, or Jagat Swaraj. This is what we're doing. The Constitution, the Earth Constitution, has specific provisions for decentralizing of the administration. And in this session of the Provisional World Parliament, in this 15th session of the Provisional World Parliament, we have a comprehensive program outlined for that very decentralization process that brings all people into a capacity to participate in what we're doing. So I'm really excited. I think that it is actually, although we did not want to be limited to virtual session of Provisional World Parliament, it makes it's still strong and makes sense. Our intention is to govern ourselves as human beings, to end racism, to end discrimination on all counts, social status, nationality, language, gender. We want human beings to be free right around the world. This is urgent that we find and build freedom from a beginning. And this is what Provisional World Parliament and what Provisional Earth Federation is doing. We are starting in a state of a social contract of freedom, of absolute freedom for human beings right around the world. We're urging for people to consider this contract, which is the Earth Constitution. We're urging people to understand how the world legislation of the Provisional World Parliament is creating the details, the comprehensive details that can't be in a constitution. We say that any literate person around the world, a constitution should be brief enough so that any literate person will be able to read it and inform themselves. And we have done that with the Constitution over the World Constituent Assemblies, and the further details, because it has to be highly comprehensive, is being filled in by the deliberations and adoptions of world legislation by the Provisional World Parliament. Now, I'm going to ask, what do we mean by provisional? Does provisional mean that we're simply having an idea about World Parliament? Does provisional mean that we're just simply providing a model of what people might do, of what some delegates in the United Nations or some Assembly of States parties might do? No, that's not what we're doing. Rather, we are pretending to self-govern at a world level, and we are intending to self-govern at a world level. And we have the Earth Constitution, which, although it may not be perfect or is not perfect, it is close enough for providing strength for humane, sensible, practical self-government, Earth Federation, World Federation, a World Commonwealth Republic in which all people can participate. And this session, we have legislation for World District Template. We have legislation for women's rights. We have legislation for actualization protocol. We have from Peru, Justice David Quispe has provided a philosophical grounding for legal process called civil forfeiture. And this is just a detail. I'm very happy with this. Now, it's important for us to understand that the legislation of the Provisional World Parliament and the Earth Constitution has already provided for civil forfeiture in certain circumstances. But this legislation of Justice Quispe, it creates a grounding, a very strong grounding, explaining how and why it is reasonable and just and legitimate to implement civil forfeiture, which means if you break a law that you might lose, you will lose property behind it if you're if you are convicted of committing certain crimes. And forgive me, I'm not a judge. I'm not even an attorney. I'm a jurist, meaning that I've read the law. And in the case of the world legislation, I am very thankful for Justice Quispe for contributing with this particular piece. I'd like to thank everyone again, all participants in the Provisional World Parliament. We're looking at a very excellent legislative session. We're going to need to be meeting more frequently because this is the most world legislation that has ever been submitted, and by the most number of participants of drafters, people drafting world legislation. I want to thank every drafter, every person that participated in writing the drafts, the proposed bills for this session. I think it was 23 bills, different bills that were that have been submitted over the months, and we're going to be we plan to be creating commissions this session with this continuation steering committee and with the commissions that are identified in Article 19 of the Earth Constitution, plus a number of other subcommissions, so that we continue on in strength after the session of Parliament, and we build forward toward the 16th session of the World Parliament, which hopefully will be within 1 year. And thank you very much. I can take questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eugenia. Namaskar. Okay, now I hand over the floor to Dr. Shinjini from Lucknow. I request her to please take on the floor from now.
Thanks, Priyanka. It's a proud privilege to hear and see such eminent leaders of peace. So allow me to introduce Justice Kashifa Hussain, who is also present among us. She is a justice in the Supreme Court of Bangladesh. Her father, Muhammad Hussain, was also a justice in the High Court of Bangladesh and a signatory to the Earth Constitution. Justice Kashifa Hussain has given an anthropological perspective on special laws in Bangladesh, which are not just workable, but also desirable. She's a staunch supporter of Provisional World Parliament, and we request her to address the audience.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all members and office bearers of World Constitution and Parliament Association. It is indeed a privilege for me to be able to say a few words here today. I would like to focus myself not focus myself, but rather I would like to say a few words. I'll make myself as short as possible on the general global political, social, and economic situation prevailing in contemporary times. I'd just like to say that my association with World Constitution and Parliament Association, as Ms. Dr. Sarana correctly said, it began several decades ago through my father, not through me, through my father, late Justice Syed Muhammad Hussain, who was one of the drafters and founding members of the Earth Constitution for World Constitution Parliament Association, along with Mr. Philip Isley, Barrister T.P. Amarasinghe, and Barrister Spencer, and others in early 1972 in Denver, Colorado, USA, where we lived with him as a family. Well, I would say the objectives of the association was, as most of you know, was initiated primarily as a movement of world citizens for securing global peace and order upon encouraging amicable relationship between nations of the world. Well, unfortunately enough, nearly 50 years down the line after the drafting of the Constitution, however, to fulfill the objectives of World Constitution and Parliament Association and the Earth Constitution still remains a dream only. Regrettably, I have to say that it remains a dream. As we are well aware, global unrest and conflict has escalated from what it was far more when the WCPA began its journey. Whatever the manner by which we may redefine the objectives of the Earth Constitution, the primary aim is to ensure basic equality and harmony, parity among fellow humans all over the world, irrespective of their religion, race, caste, creed, and sex. Without a balance without a balance of power and resources, it is really impossible to achieve these goals. By resources, I mean economic resources, human resources, resources in all its most of its phase. Resources is a broad term. So resources, I mean mainly economic resources and at times human resources. It is sad to see that discrimination between citizens has also taken a shocking form in recent years. Discrimination against minorities on the basis of their religion is increasing at an alarming rate in many countries, I'm sorry to say. Even discriminating and repressive laws are being enacted at times against the minorities by the government of the day. I think it is time that all of us come together, some of us at least come together to address these issues. Discrimination and disparity in the form of race is another impediment to equality, ultimately affecting global peace. These two factors, discrimination on the basis of religion and race, have taken a monstrous form leading to harassment, both economic and social inequality, deprivation, including several other aspects, which I cannot give an exhaustive definition of all. Another serious factor which we are noticing in recent times particularly is the discrimination between the poorer and richer countries in distribution of resources. It has always been there, but some incidents and some things have really made us to think twice. There lies a serious imbalance and lack of parity between distribution of resources within all its definitions, as I said. Let me give you the most recent example. The most recent and blatant example of discrimination between richer and poorer countries is the severe, and you must have all noticed, the severe and shocking imbalance between rich and poor countries regarding the COVID-19 vaccine distribution. Just look at that. The world is witnessing a blatant hoarding of vaccines by some of the richer nations, particularly some of the Western countries, while most of the poor countries remain vaccine starved. Vaccines, it is the right to live. All men have right to live. So if there is no parity among a basic distribution, then how can we ever even achieve parity in other sectors? These are only examples. I have only given an example of the overall imbalance between nations. Such serious imbalance in almost every sphere can hardly rescue the world from the vagaries of inequality and can far from ensure global peace and harmony. It goes without saying that the more the disparity between nations, the more is the chance of future unrest and conflict. We cannot avoid. Harmony can be achieved only when economic and social justice between countries is ensured. Of course, it also, as I have to say, it also includes the end of gender discrimination. Bangladesh, I must say, since I'm representing my country also, has certainly made considerable progress in empowerment of women in many aspects. 34% or 35% of the women is employed in the workforce in this country, which is maybe even better than some of the neighboring countries. Discrimination in all its form, therefore, race, religion, caste, creed, and sex must end. To work towards this goal is the duty of all member states at the initiative of the government of the day. Unfortunately enough, the dream of the founders of World Constitution and Parliament Association still remains a dream. But yet we dream on for a better world for all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. It was indeed a pleasure to hear you.
Thank you.
Now, I would request Honorable Senator Hayrat Abdul Razak Wabde, who is the chairman of Senate of Nigeria. She was elected senator for the Abuja Federal Capital Territory constituency, Nigeria, at the state of the Nigerian Fourth Republic, running to the People's Democratic Party platform. She held office from May 1999 to May 2003. We request her to speak for 2 minutes and shower her blessings on us. Ma'am.
Hello. Hello, network is a little bad. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. We can hear you, it's okay.
All right. Congratulations, and it's my first time here. I've listened attentively to all earlier speakers. I must say the founding fathers of the World Constitution must be happy that what they started is still alive. Getting people to come together for good, it's hard. People find it more easy to come together for self-aggrandizement and moving forward on selective advancement for self. I do agree with the earlier speaker that says we should find a way outside the United Nations structure to come together as one people on this planet. And as one people on this planet with one set of laws which will reflect our individual differences in the manner that will allow everybody to feel to feel the peace that is the goal for all. I think that there are too many things on the face that is happening today that is mitigating against coming together of humanity for peace. I do not know why destruction is much easier than building. What we are trying to do with World Constitution and One Parliament is to build and provide for those children, for us and those citizens of the earth that are not yet here, so that they have laws that will ensure that they have successful engagement and peaceful living on this planet. In working with the World Constitution, I believe we will also look after the planet itself. We will also keep an eye on the animals of the planet that we're fast and those in the seas. Because we are fast as human beings, depleting them, destroying them, and indirectly creating more unpeaceful and an ungovernable situation for all of humanity. I'm ready to be part of this, and that's why I'm on. But unfortunately, I have to leave any minute from now. I'm very, very happy to join up. I'm sorry I couldn't put the videos on, but I'm with you. I like what is happening and I've signed on. We're trying to get more people in my country to sign on. It takes a while for people to understand the need for one world. And in this drive for one world, one nation under the universe, that is the goal. And if and when we achieve that, there will be peace all over. We should, as you have started, continue to be our brothers' keepers, our sisters' keepers, and helping one another to stand up. And on that note, I say thank you for having me and happy delicious all.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you.
Well said, ma'am. We indeed are one family. Now we have among us Dr. Roger Cotella, editor at Earth Federation News and Views. He's a psychologist and a full-time activist, recently elected president of Democratic World Federalist in San Francisco. He is vice president of World Constitution and Parliament Association Global, and his goal is to help establish a democratic federal world union by means of the Earth Constitution designed to replace the obsolete UN Charter. He wants UN to be replaced by, and we request him to share his views. Sir.
Well, thank you very much on behalf of Democratic World Federalists in San Francisco. We're honored to be able to be here and share our ideas and support the Provisional World Parliament and the Earth Constitution. I want to make a specific thanks to WCPA India. Major goal in this marvelous technical stuff you guys are doing. Colonel Tyagi, your passion. We're going to need it. And of course, Dr. Martin and Professor Murthy. He and I have ongoing conversations, and the conversation goes something like this: how in the hell are we going to save the world? And I think the big picture of this is that's what we're really talking about here, is saving the world. We all know the global crises. Of course, the biggest one is the possibility of nuclear war. Right now, we're looking at possible war in Ukraine. The US is messing with China, so we could end up in a fight there, and it goes on and on. And then we have climate change, perpetual wars, and then grinding poverty. And that's another way to die, is just to be poor. Now, Democratic World Federalists is we're an activist think tank. We work closely with WCPA India, the Earth Constitution Institute, and the Center for UN Constitutional Research out of Brussels. Our theme line and our strategy to save the world is what we call the San Francisco Promise. Now, San Francisco is known for some great music in the 60s. We helped stop the Vietnam War, which was based, by the way, on lies. And but anyway, in 1945, when they signed that UN Charter, also legally they agreed, they made the promise that they would review the UN Charter. And my contention and our contention is that the UN Charter is a big part of the problem, not the United Nations. They do a lot of good things. But they're frustrated. Their hands are tied. They're trying to solve these global problems as if their hands are tied behind their back. They're trying to do it with one hand. And the reason is the charter's wrong. It's not something that's talked about a lot, but the truth is that the UN Security Council is really not a peace and security council at all. It's Basically, it's a warring organization. These are the leading weapons dealers in the world. So we're asking these guys to give us peace when all they give us is more wars. All right, what do we do about it? Well, let's talk about strategies. The nation's idea of strategies is more military. Right now, here in America, I'm ashamed and sorry to say that we have instigated a nuclear arms race. About 43 miles from where I live here, the Livermore Lab is, as we speak, working on nuclear technology, nuclear missiles for first strike, and for use of nuclear weapons in conventional warfare. So watch out, India. If let's say we manage to get in a fight over Taiwan and start a little war over Taiwan, India could get dragged in. And when the nukes come out, the radiation, believe me, won't miss India. Strategies. The governments are wrong in its militarism as a way for world peace. It's got to be stopped. And the question is, well, how do we do it? We contend that it starts with the UN Charter, that we know the defects. And the Earth Constitution, the brilliance of the Earth Constitution is it corrects most of these defects in the Charter. So where does that take us? It takes us to the UN General Assembly. Now, in these meetings we're having right now here in India, and thank you, India, for sponsoring this. I think India is going to have to help lead us out of the darkness. Out of this, we need the nations. There should be nations here, liaison from the top level. We've written Russia, Moscow. We've written Modi in India. We've even tried the San Francisco County Board of Supervisors with a resolution that we have UN charter change. Well, okay, why do we want that? Well, we want charter change under Article 1093. That's the legal requirement. It hasn't happened. We want the UN General Assembly to launch it. And the reason we want that is so we can introduce the Earth Constitution. And okay, so what we're saying is let's let the UN General Assembly compare the Earth Constitution to the current UN Charter. Now, when we do that, and whenever I listen to anybody's strategy of how they intend to save the world, I don't care if they're peace activists, anti-nuke activists who've got this prohibition against nuclear weapons, this law at the UN that says you can't have nuclear weapons, which the big boys are ignoring. I always ask myself, okay, well, your strategy that you're suggesting, will your strategy end war? Because you have to end war to get rid of the nukes, because as long as wars are allowed, psychologically, every nation is trapped. They get paranoid about, oh, the other nation's going to have a military advantage. And so therefore, we have to have bigger nukes. I'm not going to go in today about the psychological reasons why we need a global system change, but it's urgent, it's real. It's part of what I like about Dr. Martin's book, where the Earth Constitution, he says, is the solution. I agree. The model we use is when the US formed, the 13 colonies started to go to war with each other. The Articles of Confederation didn't work, so they did the federal UN Constitution. And that's what we're saying has to happen with the UN. That we have to replace the UN Charter with the Earth Constitution. Now, I hope that what happens in these meetings, I'm not ready to stop, is that some of you here listening to this, and I know a lot of you have a lot to say, will go to your governments. Bangladesh, good to see you here. India, I hope there's some representatives from the government of India here, but we need some of the nations to get on board and join us. What we amount to really, and what you all here are, we're private we're back to diplomacy, private citizens trying to talk these nations into doing what's needed. We're not going to get rid of poverty unless we get rid of war. We're not going to be able to deal with climate change unless we get rid of war, because when you're worried about war, a nation doesn't have time to worry about climate change, to worry about poverty. They're building weapons. Always ask on strategies, what are they proposing about the UN Charter? If a peace group, anti-war group, these groups that want human rights, if they're not recommending that the charter be changed, they're missing the boat. It's not going to work, because the big boys are above the law. And as a psychologist, I can tell you that if you have a nation, a sovereign nation run by a psychopath or a sociopath, they're not going to listen to love and understanding, but they will listen to law. And that's what's missing. I think maybe and you are world patriots by caring about the world in general, because in order for us to save ourselves, we're going to need to save the world, because we're part of the world. And thank you very much for letting me rant on and on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a pleasure to hear you. And now we welcome Shri Rajesh Chandraji from Lucknow. He is Secretary, Admission and Fee Regulatory Committee, Government of UP, India. He is actively engaged in role of India in new emerging world order. He is the writer of more than 24 books on Buddhism. He is also the meditation master in India and abroad. We request him to share his views. Sir.
So much thank you, Madam Neelam. And dear all the sisters and brothers joining this event of World Constitution and Parliament Association. First of all, I would like to greet you in an ancient manner of India, Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam. May everything be full of blessings all these 3 days, whatever you are going to conclude in this online summit. Most of us among us are concerned about ourselves, about our families, about our caste, creed, race, nation, culture, or community, but there is an organization known as World Constitution and Parliament is concerned about this globe, concerned about this humanity, concerned about this earth. I must appreciate the leadership of Dr. Glenn C. Martin. It's a matter of great appreciation to all the members associated with WCPA. Most respected Madam Laura George, Professor P. N. Murthy, Venerable Swami Chidananda, Guruji Pawan Sinha sir, Colonel T.P. Tyagi, Veer Chakra, Dr. Eugenia Almond, Secretary General WCPA, and Justice Kashifa Hussain, Bangladesh, Dr. Roger Kotila, Mr. Sachin Gupta, Honorable Lakshmi Narayan, Minister from Pondicherry Government, Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, Major Sushil Goyal sir, and everyone present in this program virtually, mentally, or emotionally, I greet you all. I must appreciate the initiative taken by Dr. Glenn T. Martin, though the plannings were there to meet face to face, but circumstances concluded in such a way that we are meeting virtually. And the association had decided very significant topic. Role of India in a new emerging world order. Indeed, when we need blood as a patient admitted in hospital in ICU, we seek only blood of a particular group as required. We do not seek blood of a particular caste, creed, or race, or community, a nation. We need only blood. If accidentally our kidneys fail or defected, we need kidneys transplanted from anyone. We forget the caste, race, nationality, community. But when we are going to marry someone, when we are going to maintain the business, when we are going to maintain the relationship, when we are going to have a friendship, we are limited with all these kind of diversities of caste and creed and culture or nationality. If I talk in a metaphorical way, I would like to give a simile that consider this world as a nation and different nations as a state. I would give a simile. You see USA as the political capital of the world. Whatever is happening in USA politically, almost it affects the whole world. Likewise, we may say that France is the fashion capital of the world. We may say that Japan is the digital or the electronic capital of the world. Likewise, I would like to say a simile, India is the spiritual capital of the world. If you are expecting something political renaissance, you are expecting something economical renaissance or a contribution from India, you may be disappointed. But if you see this country as the spiritual capital of the world, you may achieve with more than expectation. This is the most strange fact of India. Most strange fact of India that this country has never attacked any country, though defended many times, recorded in history, but this country never attacked any country. Even during this pandemic period, India has helped our neighboring countries. Apart from all kind of deficiencies, India as a nation, its spiritual existence is still affecting the whole world. Sometimes in the voice of Buddha, in the voice of Mahavira or the Nanak, sometimes through the Swami Vivekananda, some Paramahansa Yogananda, and many occasions through J. Krishnamurti or Sri Aurobindo, and so many spiritual icons are always addressing the world. And if you expect too much from India in other ways rather than a spiritual way, we maybe get disappointed. This is what I say about this country. And the topic you have chosen, role of India. So just I want to highlight India, if you say the whole globe, India as a spiritual land of the world. It may guide well, it may lead well, it may be a torch bearer country of the world. And even our constitution, in our constitution, Article 51, the great architect of Indian Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, included in Article 51A as to promote international peace and security. Article 51B maintain just and honorable relations with nations. And Article 51C foster respect for international law and treaty obligations in dealing of organized people with one another and encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitrary part fundamental duties. So legally, we are committed, we all citizens of India are committed to maintain the world peace, world harmony, and unity of our globe. I would like to appreciate everyone participating in this campaign and would like to conclude my thoughts and delivering this talk with a poem. Realizing our soul or spirit is not the enlightenment. Realizing our souls or spirit is not the enlightenment or self-realization. Awakening the Kundalini, the serpent power, is not the supreme experience. To have a vision of God is not the real achievement. To have the vision of God is not the real achievement. To have a very thrilling spiritual experience like Samadhi or Sublime is not the essence of life, but to realize that I am a human being. But to realize that I am a human being free from all kind of tags of caste, creed, nationality, so-called religion is the real enlightenment. Life is a real enlightenment, and realizing all human beings as human beings is the supreme wisdom. So there are diversities and there will be diversities, but there are peace lover, there are harmony lover on this earth, and they will be active. I must appreciate Dr. Glenn T. Martin and all the members who are participating in this event. And I personally, from India, as Rajesh Chandra, physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, in all ways, I offer myself whatever is possible to execute this peace, harmony, love, to maintain this earth. I'm always ready. I offer myself whatever duties and services is possible from me. I am ready to pay in always. And finally, I would say thanks. I am delighted to be part of this event today. So much thanks, Madam Neelam, and everyone, please.
Thank you, Shri Rajesh Chandra ji, for making us understand the advantages of seeing the broader perspective rather than going on the narrowness of mind. So now I hand over the floor to Priyanka for further proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Honorable Mr. K. Lakshmi Narayananji, guest of honor for the day, is present amongst us. As he has some urgent commitments, we need to go off the schedule. So now we request him to address the audience. He is the Honorable Minister for Public Works, Puducherry Government, and many other portfolios. It's a great news that WCPA is reconnecting itself with its land of origin, Puducherry, today. Sri Aurobindo gave the idea of World Union to the world. All our founders were connected with World Union. We are glad to share that we have distinguished guests connected with the state of Puducherry. We are pleased to inform that PWP 16 will be held in association with Puducherry government in 2022. We are really grateful to Mr. K. Lakshmi Narayananji for his cooperation. We now request Shri K. Lakshmi Narayananji from Ministry of Puducherry government to speak few words and share his blessings.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Namaskar, Vanakkam. It's a great honor for me to join in this very ambitious idea of forming a World Constitution and Parliament Association. Really, I should thank our good family friend, Mr. Goyal, who is instrumental in bringing me into this August forum. We have been talking to many people who are associated with this World Constitution and Parliament Association for quite a long time. And as rightly said by the person who just spoke to me, it is the Puducherry which has dreamed of a world union. As rightly said, Sri Aurobindo has wanted to have a world union, and Sri Mother has given an idea of forming a world union, and there was a literature, and it's still published in from Aurobindo Society in the name of World Union, which brings lot of inputs, lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas about having a common government administration for the world to keep all the humankind under one umbrella. So I would like to thank all the distinguished guests who have gathered here for their sincere effort in bringing all world citizens under one umbrella with a common intention of bringing peace and a decent life for our future generations. It's a very noble idea, and it's a very needed initiation for this new world order. India used to lead its role in all spheres, like bringing world peace, making the world as making a world where no unfair competition is there, or where we don't want to have more wars, more loss of human life. We have only one world, so we should have a decent and respectable life for all the citizens of this world. We have divided into many countries, regions, zones, and everything, but humankind is only one species available in this universe. So we need to have a good relationship between all citizens of the world, cutting across all lines, cutting across the crossing all the barriers that is dividing us from having a common goal. And instantly, our good friend has given this the Constitution for the Federation of the Earth, which is a very good document placed before us to go through. It is really having a lot of good ideas to keep our human relations intact and to have a better life and better cooperation between the various regions and various countries. They were having a good idea. They were just mentioning about so many ideas about having a world civil service and a lot of departments for the world government. Maybe now the people who have signed this basic document has got a noble idea, but may happen when the crisis comes, necessity comes. I think all these dreams will come into practice. And moreover, as an Indian, and our forefathers have dreamt a lot of principles to be followed in future. Even in Tamil, the first, we used to be proud that the Tamil is the first and foremost language. Even 2000 years back, our poets during the Sangam period, they were dreaming about one world. Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir. It means the whole world is one. That is, universe is one, and everyone should have a good cooperation. All are one. Something like that. These are the ideas in Tamil and in our own. I think this idea is common in all our languages, Indian languages. The Indian culture is to have a common platform for everyone who are living in different parts of the world. People used to say that, I mean, scientifically also, people used to say that North and South cannot go together, or East and West cannot sync well or go together. But nowadays, it is very possible, because we have good relations between governments, and we have good relations between, we are trying to establish good relationship between people to people of different countries. There is a good started implementing good cooperation between on business to business. Something like that. Now the world is becoming one wherever it is necessary. For example, if now the many changes have come, World Trade Organization has come, World Peace Council has come. So everywhere we want to think globally and act locally. So it is just necessary for all of the citizens of this world to join together to work for the peace, and not for us, or not for the generation, and for the generations to come. And the today's topic is about the role of India in the emerging new world order. As this is India is the number 2 in the population, number 2 in the manpower, and highly intellectual country, which can always accommodate best ideas available in the world whenever it is required. We used to inculcate all the good habits, good ideas, good rules, good rules which are available in the world. Moreover, our constitution, which has been framed by great leaders like Dr. Ambedkar and his team, has taken ideas which is enshrined in our preamble, that people should be equal. Equal means not only in a very closed meaning, in a broader sense. That's people are equal, and the equality should be before law. It means equality in all gender, race, language, color, creed, and even justice and employment. Everyone should have an equal right. So this is our basic constitutional right. And as all we accept, the constitution is the soul of democracy. And in this new world order, everyone is want to protect and want to give their contribution for the democratic principles to be followed by the government, all the government, and also every citizen of this world. So with this great and noble ideas of democracy, and respecting the individual rights, and protecting the rights of individual and the governments and the citizens of this world, we people of this world should act in a way that everyone should have all their rights respected, and there should be a much cooperation between the government to government in bringing this noble cause, peace, to bring peace and a warless society. And there should be a cooperation to help the needy people, the needy government, and in the field of eradication of poverty and in the field of removing the unemployment. All the governments of this new world should come together and find a solution for the economic progress and social upliftment of our youngsters, because they are going to form they are going to be the next world. Therefore, I request a lot of dignitaries from various fields have joined together for a noble cause. The World Organization is really just necessary. A common call, a unified opinion will really make everyone to think. So I appreciate the people, the great personalities who have joined together to form this World Constitution and the World Parliament Association for the better cause. I really thank all the people who are giving me an opportunity to join in this August forum. And as decided earlier, as told, as it was agreed, really we would like to have, I would like to invite all the people to have a conference in Puducherry, because Puducherry is the best place for a noble cause, where many people who are interested in establishing a world common government or world common union for the betterment of the future. So we'll be really expecting everyone to be here for the next general body meeting of our World Constitution Parliament Association. We'll be happy to host you all people. I really thank all the people for giving this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your words and blessings and advices. Thank you so much, sir. From now, we have Honorable Sachin Gupta ji with us. He's Chancellor of Sanskriti University. Among the many hats he wears, Sachin Gupta runs educational institutes, charitable hospitals, charitable schools for the underprivileged and Divyang children. He is really passionate and active as the president of a Rotary Club. He actively did a lot of projects there. He has been honored with Bharat Gaurav Samman in USA, besides a recognition award by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. We request him to address the audience with his views. And sir, all your floor is all yours.
Namaskar, good evening. Honorable panelist, Dr. Glenn Martin, President WCPA, Justice Bala Krishnan, Chief Guest, Honorable Minister for Public Works from Pondicherry Government, Shri Lakshmi Narayananji, Lieutenant General AKS Chandele, Mr. Rajesh Chandra, Secretary Technical Education UP Government, Dr. Roger Kotila, President DWF and VP WCPA, Justice Kashif Hussain, Supreme Court Bangladesh, Dr. Gina Ahmed, Secretary General WCPA, Colonel Tyagi, Veer Chakra, Vice President WCPA, India, Dr. Laura George from USA, Swami Chindananji from Rishikesh, Professor P.N. Murthy from Earth Constitution India, Vice President. Mera sabhi ko sadar namaskar. Good evening. I first of all thank WCPA India, World Constitution Parliament Association, for inviting me and to become a panelist and speak in this between the all speakers who are from different parts of the world. The world is undergoing a momentous political, economic, and social transformation, and this is leading to a major shift in interstate relations. The center of gravity of global economy is shifting from transatlantic to the trans-Pacific, and its weak existing security arrangements and alignments among states are also undergoing a major change. The emergence of power from Asia, that is China and India, is one aspect of this transition. But Asia is new home to a cluster of major powers. Now, what is the role of India in new emerging order? Vasudev Kutum, as you all heard this word very again and again, the world is a family. Engraved on the entrance of Parliament of India speaks, and the words being said in the Upanishad of India in Rig Veda states what India is all about. It also states one is a relative, the other stranger, say the small-minded. The entire world is a family, live the magnanimous. Be the detached, be magnanimous, lift up your mind, enjoy the fruit of Brahmanic freedom. This is what the Rig Veda says. There have been spiritual leaders from India like Gautam Buddha, Rabindranath Tagore, Sri Aurobindo, Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, and many other leaders who've been showing the way to the world of peace, harmony, oneness, not from now, but from years on years. Believe me, whether the world likes or not, India is going to show the world a torch whenever there's darkness, whenever there's war, whenever there's any problem in the world. Either it is the peace leaders or the spiritual leaders, India being a spiritual country, one of the biggest democratic country in the world. And now in the current form, when the whole world has the economic problems and reasons to going beyond borders, whether it is for acquiring other countries or whether it is for getting the minerals from other countries, there is still one country who's showing the way. When there was COVID, we did not see any borders coming in or religion coming. They did not see any religion. India showed the world the way, what India is all about. The vaccination drive covered almost India, seeing no pockets, whether he is rich or poor. And also the vaccination going beyond borders was one of the examples that our Prime Minister Modi showed the world. The other commitment that he gave very recently in the climate change, that India is going to be the biggest producer of solar power, is other commitment that he's shown to the world. And now we've seen a lot of CEOs of Indian community taking over the world organizations. This is another step when the world is becoming an economic forum, and there have been reasons behind everyone to take over. It will be India that will shine its way. India has one of the youngest population, as I said, in the country. Whether the world likes it or not, the consumer power that will drive the world, the economy that will drive the world will start from India. And India has shown the path, it will keep on showing the path. And the education system of India, from Nalanda to till today, it has been talking about peace, harmony, spiritualness, and not illiterating, but educating the world. Recently, we have signed an MOU with WCPA, where our students can really think of a future without a world without borders, and what WCPA is dream of. Because it is the future, our young generation are the future of the country, and they need to take it forward. So we all need to think, sit together, what are we going to give them? What are we going to give the world tomorrow? When there's a huge climate change, the problem of pollution, the speakers have said about the war materials that is being transforming, going to change the world, the wars that are going to spoil the country, or the emission of gases from those wars. Is this what we are going to give the baton to the new generation? I think it's time for all of us to think, sit together. It's not only the job of United Nations, but of every individual, of every countryman, every person around the world, and do their bit, because every bit transforms into change in the society. Today, what WCPA is seeking for and thinking of may be a dream, but tomorrow, maybe someday, this dream may come true, that a world without United Nations, without UN, and there will be a constitution, world constitution parliament, what Dr. Swami, Dr. Aurobindo and Mother thought about and gave the world. We also have MOUs with Sri Aurobindo Society of his teachings at Sanskrit University. And we only think and dream of that our citizens going further and not only becoming an economic successful person, but educating the world and becoming a good human being and create happiness in the society where there's peace, harmony for everyone. So my thank you for all of the speakers who have given knowledge to us, enlightened us, and these little words, I think will go forward and enlighten the world. Thank you so much. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Sachin Gupta. It's now time for an address by Lieutenant General Dr. A.K.S. Chandele. He is decorated with the highest gallantry awards, Param Vishesh Seva Medal and Ati Vishisht Seva Medal. Lieutenant General A.K.S. Chandele is the Senior Advisor of Geointelligence. He was commissioned in the Corps of Electronics and Mechanical Engineering, which is responsible for the repair, maintenance, and overhauling of the complete range of weapons and equipment of the Army. A specialist in radar and control systems, air defense, missiles, and biomedical engineering, he retired as the Director General EME after over 4 decades of service in the Army. We now request him to please share his views. So please unmute you. Sir, please unmute yourself. Lieutenant General A.K.S. Chandele, we are waiting. So please unmute yourself. So please unmute yourself. General Chandele, please unmute yourself. No, sir. Sorry for the inconveniences. It's now time for presidential address. We'll now proceed with an address by Dr. Glenn T. Martin. We'll take on General Chandele a little bit later. Sorry for the inconveniences. He's the director. Now we'll move on with an address by Dr. Glenn T. Martin. He's the director of ECI, president of WCPA, and chair of PWP 15. Dr. Glenn T. Martin, he's a visionary, futurist, political critic and activist, and tireless advocate for Earth Federation under the Constitution for the Federation of Earth. He has a lot of feathers in his cap, and one of them is GUSI International Peace Prize. Out of his dozen books, the latest, The Earth Constitution Solution and Design for a Living Planet, are just noteworthy. The concept is planetary transformation for human liberation. He lectures on environment protection, world ombudsman, and nonviolent resolution. We now request Dr. Glenn T. Martin to do the honors.
Thank you very much. I want to emphasize what Dr. Eugenia Allman mentioned, and several of our participants have mentioned, that this meeting takes place under the authority of the Constitution for the Federation of Earth. The Constitution for the Federation of Earth is a design for a living planet. And as a design for a living planet, under Article 19, it empowers the people of Earth, all of us, to create provisional world government. We can do it now. We can lay the groundwork here and now. We do not have to wait for the nations to get together and eventually ratify something. We're laying that groundwork now, and those of you who participate the day after tomorrow in the legislative session will be in a historic set of principles that are being examined there that are literally laying that groundwork. So I recommend strongly that if you're going to participate on the 12th in the legislative session, and I hope you do, review that agenda, review all those proposed world legislative acts. It's fundamental. We're transforming the world as we speak. Thank you. So my address today is on the need for a new world system. And I want to welcome all the delegates and observers gathered here on this auspicious occasion of the 15th session of the Provisional World Parliament and the role of India in the emerging world order. I wish to give honor and thanks to the several great dignitaries that we have with us today and who have spoken at this meeting. They grace the occasion, helping us renew our solemn commitment to a world of peace, justice, and sustainability. Our present world disorder is premised on a global economic system predicated on endless growth. It's predicated on private debt-based banking, and it's predicated on competition, not only among businesses, but nation states for resources, control of markets, and spheres of influence. Our present world disorder is also premised on the concept of some 193 autonomous nation states, most of them militarized, confronting one another with secrecy, distrust, hate, fear, continuous conflicts, incursions, and endless arms races. Yet this entire world disorder has been thrown into an even deeper set of quandaries as the climate crisis has dawned on our planet and on human beings across the globe. We are in overshoot, far beyond the carrying capacity of our planet. Our planet simply cannot biologically support 8 billion people. And species are going extinction. Every day they're going extinct because it cannot support all these creatures who are trying to survive on the planet today. We have a massive global fossil fuel driven economy that is disintegrating the very fabric of the planetary ecosystem that supports human life and all higher forms of life. The very economy that provides the necessities of life to the top 50% of humanity, that's us, right? The bottom 50% don't seem to count. The very economy that provides these necessities is destroying the life prospects for everyone's children and for future generations. At the same time, we know that humanity is one, that civilization is one, our planetary ecosystem is one, and that the cosmos and the source of being are one. This knowledge animates our presence at this session of the Parliament. This knowledge informs our message to India and the world. Without unity, humanity cannot prevail against climate collapse or weapons of mass destruction. Without unity, humanity cannot move forward respecting the dignity, rights, and integrity of each unique person within the vast diversities of nature and human existence. The Constitution for the Federation of Earth commits that dignity to ink and paper. It unites humanity under the sacred principle of unity in diversity, a world founded on human dignity for the first time ever, founded on planetary conscious evolution for the first time ever. Nearly all nations in history have been founded on the principle of territory. This is my territory. These are my boundaries. Nearly all economic systems in history are founded on absolute ownership. This is my land, my wealth, my property. Such systems of exclusivity militate against the oneness of humanity, against the unity and diversity that unites human beings together under the melody of existence. These systems of exclusivity drag human consciousness down into the awful chaos of war, violence, hate, fear, and hunger. These systems cannot but violate human dignity because they are founded on inflexible exclusivity. If protecting my territory comes first, then your dignity comes second. If protecting my wealth comes first, then your hunger and misery come second. If you begin with absolute national territories, you cannot but lose the whole. If you begin with absolute private property, you will lose not only the whole, but your own humanity. The Earth Constitution founds democratic planetary governance on the melody of being, on the dignity of humanity, and the sacred holism of our cosmos and the natural world. All the world's great religions have affirmed human dignity. All the world's great secular humanist teachers have also affirmed human dignity and natural human rights. For human beings to come into an era of their dignity and fulfillment in harmony with the cosmic ground of being, as well as with our endangered planetary biosphere, they must place territory and property second to true unity and diversity based on universal human rights, responsibilities, and the holism of human civilization. That is the significance of this session of the Provisional World Parliament. Under Article 19 of the Earth Constitution, we come together to further the regime of human dignity. We do not abolish the nations or the regime of fair trade and wealth, but with the Earth Constitution, we place these second to our universal human rights to peace, security, and environmental integrity. The Earth Constitution gives us these third generation rights. They're not there in the UN Universal Declaration of 1948. Third generation rights. We have the right to peace, the right to a decent environment, the right to security. All this is being destroyed by our current world system. This song of unity and diversity has been sung in India by many great teachers and artists. Rabindranath Tagore sang of the universal man in one planetary civilization. Swami Vivekananda sang of all persons as brothers and sisters embraced by the cosmic dance of being. Mahatma Gandhi heard the melody of cosmic truth and the conviction of clinging to that truth despite every impediment, which he called satyagraha. And Sri Aurobindo sang out that the divine ground had become conscious of itself in us. He described our evolutionary growth to oneness. He founded World Union that worked during the 1960s and 70s with the World Constitution and Parliament Association to write the Constitution for the Federation of Earth. Our own distinguished advisor, Swami Agnovich, embraced the Earth Constitution from the Vedic perspective of Vaishudaiv, Kutumbakam, the world is one family. Today, in the year 2021, our lack of unity on the earth brings human civilization ever closer to Armageddon, ever closer to the war that will end our divinely ordained human project forever. While the climate of the earth collapses all around us, while 1% of the earth's population owns 50% of its wealth, and while the world struggles in hunger and endless misery, and while the nations of the world continue to spend 1.8 trillion US dollars per year on militarism and war, we are in a race to save our planet. Climate disaster is happening all around us, and the delusional nations refining their nuclear weapons systems continue preparations for universal Armageddon. The greatest human imperative is precisely to unite.
Accomplishments of previous sessions of the Parliament and have met in cities and countries around the world since 1982 to the present. From within its powerful traditions and world-central perspectives, India can play a decisive role in the replacing of the UN Charter by the Constitution for the Federation of Earth. This session of the Provisional World Parliament is again showing to the world what is possible when human beings are united under the melody of unity and diversity. I want to thank our central members of the India Organizing Committee from WCPA India Division, Professor Narasimha Murthy, Colonel Tyagi, Major Sushil Goel, and Mr. Rakesh Chokar for their tireless work in making this great event possible. And I want to thank all the members of Rastraya Sainik Santa, of which Colonel Tyagi is present, for their participation in these awesome events. I want to thank Professor Hemlata Talesra, who has provided leadership for many academic persons who are in attendance at this Parliament. This Parliament session should be of supreme educational value, focusing on the role of India in the New World System. And again, I want to thank the dignitaries who have spoken here at the conference, Justice Balakrishnan and Lakshmi Narayanan, and all the other dignitaries who have participated online with their new fundamental embracing of all human nature, all nature and human civilization. May God bless these proceedings as we move into an ever more glorious future. In the words of the Christian Bible, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. In the words of the Holy Quran, praise be to God, the cherisher and sustainer of worlds, most gracious, most merciful. In the words of the Vedic tradition, Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time for again, we are going back to lesson Sindele, Dr. A.K.S. Sindele, because we have missed some video there. So, are you available with Ajit Sindele, please? Colonel Sindele, please?
Can you hear me now?
Okay. So, we request you, sir, to please share your views.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
I will switch off my video because the Wi-Fi is not able to support that. Dr. Glenn, I understand that it is totally against protocol to speak after the president. Do I have your permission to say a few words? Dr. Glenn.
Yes, yes, please do. Please, sir. Continue.
Okay, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be able to address this inaugural of the 15th session of the World Constitution and Parliament Association. Being an ex-military man, I would like to take a quick scan of the global security scenario before we look at the aim that we have set for ourselves. Well, the political, economic, and military power are the three parameters on which any assessment of global security hinges. The past 2 decades have witnessed a gradual shift of world power from a bipolar to a unipolar power. Although the United States continues to be the predominantly bigger military and economic power, there is a rise of other powers who are asserting their strength in the world order. And the biggest challengers of this is China. China's progress in the last 3 decades, both economically and militarily, is the biggest change to the world order in the last century. It is now the factory to the world. Its trade relationship with 110 countries is positive. It is giving loan to 145 countries in the world. And its Navy and Coast Guard is now the biggest in the world. Its operational triad, currently at a figure of 270, will become 1,000 in just another 5 years' time. It has tested the hypersonic weapons, and this is going to be a very potent weapon. So with these changes and its aggressive nature, China is questioning this unipolarity of America. It has aggressive claims against territories of 12 countries in this world. And it is flexing its muscles in the Indo-Pacific region and against India also, which we are very much aware of. Russia, after the disintegration in the early 1990s, ceases to be a challenge to America in any big way. Nevertheless, its military industry complex is flourishing very well, and it is manufacturing sophisticated weapon systems for itself and for other countries of the world. With the Brexit, the viability of the European Union is in question. And there was a thought at one time that the other countries will also join Britain in exiting from the European Union. Courtesy Germany and France, this exit has been stopped for some period of time, but what happens in the future cannot be said. So this is a time when we have, when we used to look at the world scenario, we used to look at the hot spots, which were the trouble spots in the world, and there would be a dozen or so of them, some more dangerous than the other. But today you have to look at peace spots because the entire globe is in conflict. If it is not with weapons, it is with immigration, it is for resources. So there is a conflict on in every portion of the world. While we have an ideal of having one world and one constitution, it still is a very far-fetched ideal. We, India, have a good role to play in this. We are a country which has been having such leaders as Gandhi and Swami Vivekananda. Ever since independence, India followed a policy of non-alignment, of Panchsheel. We are the world's, we say we are going to have one world by Vasudev Kudukam, and we have been always designated as a spiritual country. And with this, we hope that Indians all over, not just in India, will be able to help in the transformation from this fractured world into one world, and one world with one constitution where everyone can live in harmony. We have seen some hope of this in the position that various countries have taken on the climate change issue, although there are gaps there as well, but there is some positive movement. And COVID has also made people the world over realize that it's not just the rich who can vaccinate themselves and save themselves. If half the world has not been vaccinated, this can mutate into more serious implications and again spread from there to the developed world, as is happening now probably in the case of Omicron, which is South Africa did not have vaccination for about 50% of their population. And so it was fertile ground for something like this to mutate from there and develop and then move on to the rest of the world. So the world has to be looking after not just themselves, they have to look after the whole world. They have to look after the poverty, look after the food, look after the health of all the people of the world. And that, I think, is the goal of our organization, WCPA. So with these words, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we thank Mr. Manish, the event director, for the occasion. He is an academician associated with Pearl Academy. We would like to thank Mr. Devender as well, project director for the occasion, for their cooperation. Mr. Devender is General Manager, PCTI, and serving the organization since last 21 years. On the occasion of the Global Convention on the Role of India in the Emerging New World Order, meeting in conjunction with the 15th session of the Provisional World Parliament through the dignitaries assembled at its opening ceremonies and its participants around the world solemnly affirm and resolve the following. Whereas many nations around the world recognize the need to have an efficient global governance system and look towards India as one of the leaders in guiding our chaotic planet towards a better future, we dignitaries and participations assembled at the opening ceremonies of this joint convention and parliament urge the government of India to assume the well-deserved mantle of leadership and lead the United Nations toward an Article 109 review conference proposing to replace the UN Charter with a workable and democratic constitution for the Federation of Earth. With this, moving towards the completion of ceremony, with the permission of the chair for the official vote of the thanks for the occasion, I request Major Sushil Goel, present amongst us, to do the honors. He's the Vice President of WCPA India chapter. He's also the CMD of PCTI. He's an Army veteran too. He has more than 48 years of experience in the field of technology. Moreover, he has designed the entire program of PWP 15. I request Major Sushil Goyal to do the honors.
Thank you, Priyanka. Well, I think this is one of the most difficult tasks for me to pass a vote of thanks, because there's so much of work has been done by various people in the last 1 year to make this event a success. First of all, I would like to thank Phyllis, who is the treasurer of WCPA, and she was also there for a couple of minutes, but we could not catch her to speak, but definitely we'll try tomorrow. She is the source behind the complete, project, and she is wife of Dr. Glenn. Secondly, the most important is the people who have joined, the dignitaries, the people, the delegates and participants. There are participants from over 20 countries today in this. This is really a great pleasure. And I thank each one of them, because some of them were available even at 2:30 at night, their night time, and attended this function. Another point is most important is the team, the PCTI TAC team, which is headed by Pankaj, and they have really done a great job. I would like to especially thank Mr. Maheshwari, CEO of Public Police, who gave a lot of support with the speakers and all kind of support. So I thank you. Well, this list is very long. I would like to thank each one of them who participated, whichever way was possible. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a nice day. Tomorrow our session will be start at 10 o'clock. So I request each one of you to be please log in before 9:45 to 10. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Jagat. Thank you.